What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Remember I told you guys back in the day, not back in the day, probably a couple videos ago, but how I gotta stop myself, man. I get carried away. I don't know what it is. But today's video, plumbing the AC. Like I said, I started cranking, started moving, and you get in the zone and you just go. And I want to talk to you guys real quick because I know you guys might have some questions, but I got a ton of AC videos, vintage air videos, guys out there. I'll try to link some down in the description below. But so from vintage air, you're gonna have your low side that comes in. This one will come in from the, obviously from, everything will basically come in from the inside, right? So you're gonna have this guy coming in, and it's obviously going to plug into your compressor. Depending on the compressor you have, it'll be slightly different. But vintage air does not give you straight fittings. They give you kind of like two fittings that kind of look like this, and basically you got to see how it's gonna really work with the way you're trying to route your lines. So what I did is I went and bought an additional fitting, a straight, because I didn't like having basically a 90 here, because it just was not going to flow correctly going down and then back up like that. It just looked funky. So for the low side, we put a straight and then obviously crimped it on. If you guys are interested in a crimper, obviously I already did this one, did also the one back here, but you guys can look at the video. I'll link it down in the description below on a crimper for your AC lines. It's worth every single penny, you guys. I've used it multiple times. It works great. It works on the car. You don't have to take it to a vise or anything like that, but it works awesome. So got that one done, right? And then you'll have the high side down here. This guy right here, this one basically goes back, and I have it routed. I'll show you guys underneath the car here in a minute, but I have it routed underneath the serpentine kit and then back around this way, and then it'll come in. And there's a reason why I put it on this side, because we got so much going on over there with the plumbing and the supercharger. We don't want to overdo it because we already gonna have issues with the battery going over there. I mean, like I said, we just finished plumbing the actual pump over there, supercharger pump. So it's coming right underneath there. I don't know if you guys can see it, right underneath the pan. We use the pan bolts to hold it with a couple clamps. Comes back and around along the frame here, back into the condenser. Obviously you guys should know that the condenser, you have a line that runs down this way, runs down along the bottom, just like that, right? So in theory, you can actually not use that line and come off directly off the top of this guy for that line. But then you would have to figure out how to route that on this side. Like I said, I just got too much going on over here with all the plumbing for the supercharger. But if you guys are not running a supercharger, you might be able to do it that way. It might be easier. It's up to you guys. But this is kind of how we got it going on. I've done it on other cars like this as well. It works fine. But like I said, we've come down here, got a clamp holding it here so it doesn't go anywhere. But this is the really important one here. If you guys notice what I did, power steering shaft, all that, you got to clear it. Look at what I did. I put a spacer, a slash standoff, so it basically kind of almost goes up in the air, comes back around, and it'll never be in the way of that coupler turning or anything else like that. We definitely did not want to have issues down the road where it punctures the line, or even worse, it gets caught in your steering. So that's what we did with that. One other line that you're gonna have that's actually like a soft line, turns into a hard line, is this guy here. This same thing, this one comes off, obviously the inside of the car slash the actual condenser and everything. This little small guy here will come here and then plug into that guy there. If you guys remember the video on the AC kind of prep, I'll link all these videos down in the description below, you guys, if you guys are interested, basically kind of setting up your AC lines. But and that crimper, you guys can see we crimped that bad boy there. But that's all you got. It's 3 lines. You got those 2 there off the compressor, and then the guy back here back to the dryer and everything else like that. But nothing crazy, nothing complex, nothing you guys cannot handle. Now you're also going to have obviously the 2 heater hoses that come from the inside as well. You got 1 inlet, 1 outlet, of course. The bigger one is always your outlet. I believe this is a 5/8 hose, the smaller one, 3/4. And the 5/8 obviously goes back into the fender well. And inside the fender well, we have the I guess you can call it a valve. Yeah, it's basically a valve. Opens and closes, which basically allows that coolant to travel into your heater core and obviously give you heat in the winter. So that's that, you guys. I mean, nothing crazy. Like I said, we are moving right along with this plumbing. What I did do, I want to show you guys real quick. Look at that bad boy down there. Yes, sir. We actually went ahead and ran our, that's our, basically it's like a catch can, but it's for coolant. It's basically an overflow bottle from Motion Raceworks. I really like them. They fit perfect in that spot. We just got to plumb it, come around, and we'll plumb it to the radiator, to the port down here. But I took the where it goes, yeah, the little fitting that goes in here. There's a fitting that goes underneath here. We got to match the fitting to that guy, so that way we can use their nice line that plugs in and out, quick release. So we got to find a fitting that works for that. But we're moving right along, fellas. Like I said, still waiting on a few things, still waiting on that bracket that we made for that reservoir to kind of finish up the plumbing for that. We'll continue on with the plumbing for the supercharged cooler system. Hopefully once those parts get here, not to mention the tranny lines, we got to plumb tranny lines as well. But you guys already know, man, if you guys like the video, I see a lot of new guys watching. I see you guys, so hit the subscribe button for me right now. I appreciate that. And hit the thumbs up and hit the bell for notifications. You guys already know. Stay wrenching.